You've probably seen the ads for the all-in-one premium travel credit cards like the AMEX Platinum, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, or the Capital One Venture X. Or maybe you've read about them in travel magazines, financial websites, or blogs, where a list of best credit cards for travel always has these cards front and center, extolling all the benefits of the cards and talking about how easy it is to use them to book travel and rack up tons and tons of points. Earn 5 points per dollar on flights. Earn 10 points per dollar on hotels. These statements are part of advertising designed to make you feel like you'll have a massive stash of points in no time. 10 points per dollar seems like an absolute fortune in points when you think about how most cards earn 1 or 2 points per dollar on most of what you spend. But before you dive headfirst into the world of travel portals with grandiose ideas of becoming a points millionaire, let's ask this question. Is 5 or even 10 points per dollar really that much? I mean, yes, compared to the 3 points per dollar you get at restaurants or the 2 points per dollar you get at the grocery store, it's great. But is it really the best you can do when you book a hotel? In this video, we're going to look at how premium travel cards from each of these three issuers earns when booking hotel stays, and we're going to compare it to how many points you can earn booking through the hotels directly. But before we get started, let me just say, in all fairness, that I actually think these cards are well worth having for lots of reasons, independent of what we're discussing today. And we have 2 of the 3 ourselves, and have the cheaper version of the other card. If you fit the target audience and travel a lot, I wouldn't hesitate to recommend these cards, but that's not what we're talking about here. What we like to do on this channel is analyze the benefits and drawbacks of credit cards and travel programs, so that's what we're going to do. If you find this video interesting and like content like this, we'd love it if you'd subscribe to the channel and contribute to the discussion by dropping your comment below. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's look at the cards and how they work. Now, in general, each of these cards offers the most points when you book using their travel portal. This means that you're booking your hotel through a third party. Think of it like booking through Hotels.com or Expedia, but you're doing so through the credit card issuer's travel portal. If you book your hotel through Expedia or directly with the hotel, you won't get these extra points. So let's look at the premium travel cards from AMEX, Capital One, and Chase and their earnings. So the first card we're going to look at is the Platinum card from American Express. This card set the standard for premium travel cards years ago, and is for many people still the card to beat in this space. So the Amex Platinum earns 5 membership rewards points per dollar on eligible prepaid hotels if you book them through AmexTravel.com. Now we're really only going to focus on hotel points in this video, but I will just mention that the Platinum card does also earn 5 points per dollar on airfare, whether you book it through Amex Travel or through the airline directly. Next, we're going to look at the Venture X card from Capital One. So the Venture X earns 10 miles per dollar on hotels and rental cars if you book them through Capital One Travel. It earns 5 miles per dollar on flights and vacation rentals, also if you book them through Capital One Travel. So now we're going to look at the Chase Sapphire cards. We're really focusing on the Chase Sapphire Reserve card for this video. That's the premium travel card. But I do also want to mention the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, which has a much lower annual fee and still does offer a multiplier for using the Chase Travel Portal. So both of these cards earn 5 points per dollar on flights if you book them through the Chase Travel Portal. But the Chase Sapphire Reserve earns 10 points per dollar on hotels and car rentals booked through Chase Travel, whereas the Sapphire Preferred earns 5 points per dollar on hotels and car rentals booked through Chase Travel. Okay, now we're going to look at the points you'd earn from booking directly from each of 4 of the bigger hotel brands: Marriott, Hilton, Hyatt, and IHG. Now these brands all offer a points per dollar earning rate for most of their brands, and you often earn less points with longer term stay hotels or apartments, villas, things like that. In fact, when you book directly with a hotel, you can earn points 3 different ways. First, of course, is the base points per dollar that you earn from the hotel. Second, hotel brands offer a bonus percentage of points based on your status with the brand. And the higher your status, the more points you earn. So we'll touch on that as well as we go through these brands. Third is that you earn points from using a hotel's credit card. Now, this can vary depending on which card you have. And all the issuers except Hyatt have cards that earn different amounts of points per dollar when you spend with that hotel chain. We'll touch on the base points earned per dollar spent on these credit cards at their respective hotel chains, but there is another wrinkle here. Several credit cards also give you status with the chain if you pay for their card, or pay the annual fee, I should say, which would earn you the bonus points from the second of these bullet points here. Now, this is where the scales can tip in favor of booking directly with the hotels, because when you do this, you earn points from the hotel and points from the credit card company. And on top of that, get extra points for status, whether from staying at the hotel or just having the credit card. And this can add up versus just getting points from the credit card company if you book using their travel portal. So we're going to start by talking about Marriott. Now, Marriott gives 10 Marriott Bonvoy points per dollar spent on the brands listed here. This is the vast majority of their brands and is mostly missing the longer term stays like Residence Inn. Residence Inn, along with some of the other brands, gives 5 points per dollar, while Marriott Executive Apartments earns 2.5 points per dollar. Now, as I mentioned, if you have status with Marriott, you get bonus points. And with Marriott, it's up to 75% bonus points if you have titanium status or above. Now, we've recently done a video on Marriott points and how much we think Marriott points are worth, and kind of talking about how you can value your Marriott points. I'll link it in the description below if you're interested. With Hilton, you also earn 10 points per dollar with most of their brands, except for at True and Home2 brands. Now, with Hilton, you can also earn bonus points with status, up to 100% bonus points with Diamond, which is their highest status. IHG also earns 10 points per dollar at most IHG hotels, except for Staybridge and Candlewood Suites. You can also earn up to 100% extra bonus points for Diamond Elite status. Hyatt offers 5 points per dollar for spend at almost all of their brands, with Hyatt Studios only earning 2.5 points per dollar. You can also get bonus points of up to an extra 30% with Globalist status with Hyatt. As you can see here, Hyatt gives you fewer points per dollar than the other 3 brands. This is pretty easily offset, however, by the fact that Hyatt hotels are still in a category-based system where great hotels generally cost fewer points than their counterparts. Okay, now we're going to look at how many points you can earn from using a hotel's credit card when booking directly with the hotel chain. Again, when you book directly with the hotel, you earn points both from the hotel and from your credit card company. Now, we've already talked about how much the hotel chain itself will give you. Now here's how much you'd earn if you book a hotel with that hotel's co-branded card. I'm giving a range here because most of these chains offer several different credit cards, ranging from no or low annual fee cards to high annual fee cards that offer status, credits, and other perks. Many of these cards also offer free night certificates, which we've covered for Marriott in another video that I've linked below. Marriott cards pay between 3 and 6 points per dollar for Marriott charges. Hilton cards pay between 7 and 14 points per dollar. IHG cards pay between 5 and 10 points per dollar. And Hyatt cards pay 4 points per dollar. And do keep in mind, this is, again, in addition to what you would earn from booking from the hotel. And lastly, a credit card with a good travel category bonus can earn you up to 3 or even 4 points per dollar on hotel spend, even if you book with the hotel directly. We use our Chase Inc. Business Preferred for 3 points per dollar on travel. It doesn't earn as much as the hotel's actual credit cards, of course, but it is an option if you don't want to hold multiple cards and want to keep it simple. For what it's worth, I do believe it's worth holding a hotel's credit card if you're loyal to a brand, and that's something we've touched on in other videos. Just as a reminder, if the credit card gives you status just for holding the card, you'll receive even more bonus points from the hotel when you book directly. I know this is kind of getting convoluted, so let's look at the total points you can get by booking direct with a hotel, inclusive of points paid by the hotel, points from your credit card, and bonus points from status. So, in terms of the maximum amount of points you can earn per dollar, booking directly through a hotel and using the most lucrative credit cards for points earning, here are the final numbers. With Marriott, you can earn up to 21 points per dollar with the AMEX Brilliant card, which gives platinum status. With Hilton, you can earn up to 34 points per dollar with diamond status and by using the Hilton Aspire card with American Express. With IHG, you can earn 26 points per dollar with either the Premier Business or Premier Personal cards, which give Platinum Elite status. And for Hyatt, you can earn 9.5 points per dollar with the Personal card, which gives Discoverist status. Do keep in mind that this is the most points you can earn from just having status through the credit card. In some cases, like with Marriott, if you have a higher status than what the credit card confers, you can earn even more points. But for this discussion, we're just looking at the platinum status the Amex Brilliant card gets you and the bonus points from that. Please feel free to leave a comment below if you think I've missed something. Okay, so just to bring this discussion full circle, let's look at how booking direct compares to booking through a travel portal solely in terms of the points earned. This assumes all else is equal here, such as the price being the same, travel protections and cancellations, and that the benefits offered by the travel portal are the same as those offered by the hotel if you book direct. Now, this is rarely the case, but just so we can look at the straight up points comparison, here's what we have. So if you book direct with Marriott, you can earn up to 21 Marriott points per dollar. If you book direct with Hilton, you can earn up to 34 points per dollar. IHG, up to 26 points per dollar. And Hyatt, 9.5 points per dollar. On the other hand, if you book through your credit card's travel portal, if you book through American Express Travel, you can earn 5 points per dollar. Through the Capital One and Chase portals, you can earn 10 points per dollar. Now also, I just want to point out here that you can transfer American Express membership rewards points directly to Hilton Honors at a 1-to-2 ratio, meaning that 5 Amex points is actually worth 10 Hilton points if you transfer them directly. And I just want to point that out because you can transfer to the other hotel brands through the other travel portals, but it's at a 1-to-1 ratio. But again, American Express to Hilton, you get 2 Hilton points per American Express point if you decide to transfer that way. Now keep in mind that when you book with the hotel, you earn the hotel's currency or points, whereas when you book using your credit card's travel portal, you earn their transferable currency. Now this may seem like an obvious point, but I do want to make that distinction, because while a Marriott point is a Marriott point, a Chase Ultimate Rewards point, for example, can be a Marriott point or a Hyatt point, and can be a lot of other points as well. When you earn transferable currencies through your credit card issuer, you have the option of transferring them to any of its transfer partners. And you can also take advantage of transfer bonuses to potentially get even more points. Also, on that note, be aware that not all of these credit cards can transfer to all hotel brands. So Amex can transfer to Marriott and to Hilton. And again, you would get 2 Hilton points for every Amex point you transfer. The Marriott is a 1-to-1 transfer, as are all the rest of these. Chase can transfer to Marriott, IHG, and to Hyatt. Capital One actually doesn't transfer to any of these hotel chains, though they do have an extensive list of hotel and airline partners that you can use to transfer your points to. So if you notice here, the only case where the points are even close to equal is with Hyatt. If you have a Chase card, you can get 10 points per dollar by using Chase's portal to book a Hyatt hotel, and you could then use those points to transfer to Hyatt. So if you can earn more points, why not just always book directly with the hotel? The simplest answer is that not all points are created equal, and most people generally consider transferable points from American Express, Chase, and Capital One to be worth more than hotel points. Let's look at some examples of when you might consider using the credit card's travel portal and when it would be better to stick with the hotel. Okay, so here are some of the benefits of using your credit card's travel portal to make your booking. Before we begin, I would just like to give a general suggestion or a word of caution. Anytime you book through a third party, I would strongly suggest calling or emailing the hotel directly and have them confirm your reservation. You'll likely get a confirmation number from the travel portal, but I always like to have a confirmation number from the hotel as well, because that's what you can actually use to confirm your reservation on the hotel's website or over the phone. We usually book direct, but we've never had a problem using travel portals. Still, it's better to be safe than sorry, and it's easy to find stories out there on the internet and maybe in your personal life of people who have been burned using travel portals and getting to the hotel and not having a reservation. Mistakes do happen, and sometimes those reservations don't cross over and they're not made with the hotel. Also, do realize that these suggestions are given with the assumption that prices are equal on the travel portal and the hotel's website. If they're not, well, that changes the equation. One benefit of using a travel portal and getting these 5 or 10 times points on your booking is that these points are centralized with your credit card issuer and can be transferred to any partner. Chase, Capital One, and American Express have many airline and hotel partners that you can transfer points to, and you can use your points for other things as well, including your bookings in their travel portals. I personally find better value transferring to partners, but you have more options. As I mentioned earlier, you can earn more points with Hilton, Marriott, and IHG by booking directly than you can with these cards. So I would not recommend transferring your points to these hotel brands most of the time, which leads us to our next point. Chase, American Express, and Capital One have frequent transfer bonuses to partners, and having points with them allows you to take advantage of these bonuses. You may get 10 or 20 or sometimes up to 50 or more percent extra points by transferring to partners, and this can be a great time to move your points if you have a specific redemption in mind. And that is because points with your credit card company don't really devalue the way hotel and airline points do. At any time, hotels and airlines can raise the redemption rates for their hotels or flights, sometimes without notice. Google miles devaluation if you don't believe me. It happens all the time, and in some cases, it can be pretty severe. In fact, at the time of recording this video, we've just seen a devaluation from Marriott that seems to affect mostly the higher end properties, but I've also seen with some of the mid tier properties that we're looking at as well. If you have your points with Amex, Chase, or Capital One, you retain the flexibility to transfer to a different partner if the one you have your eye on suddenly devalues their points and makes it no longer worthwhile for you to use. That's why it's generally recommended not to transfer your points over until you have something in mind for how you're going to redeem those points. If you're someone who doesn't like carrying many credit cards, you may like to use a travel portal because you don't have to have a separate credit card for each hotel brand. Now, these cards often come with a lot of perks, like free night certificates and things that can help pay for themselves and for the annual fee of the card. And I personally find many of them very worth it. In fact, we've made some videos about our Marriott hotel cards recently, and I listed hotel cards as one of the first 3 to 5 credit cards we recommend for travel in a previous video, which I'll link below. Booking through a travel portal also gives you more variety in which hotels you can book, since you're not just limited to certain brands. We've stayed in a lot of great hotels that we booked through travel portals that we otherwise wouldn't have had if we had booked directly through one of the major hotel chains. And lastly, premium travel cards have annual travel credits that can be used in their portals. The Amex Platinum card has an annual $200 fine hotel and resorts credit for booking hotels in that program. And the Chase Sapphire Reserve and the Capital One Venture X cards have $300 annual credits for booking through their portals. I recently used the $300 credit on my Venture X to book a stay at the JR Metz East Hotel Akihabara in Tokyo, Japan, which was in a dream location for me. In this case, without a Marriott or another big hotel chain nearby, the travel portal was a great time to use that credit, and it was a fantastic stay. Check out the video I made of the hotel in the description below, and some of the video I took of the surrounding area. Now, also, some hotels have arrangements with the credit card companies to give special perks and benefits for cardholders. Things like late checkout, free breakfast, and credits for use at the properties. Some people love these perks, especially those on the Fine Hotels and Resorts program through AMEX Platinum. But I often find the prices are not really competitive for hotels with these perks, or that they don't outweigh the benefits we get from our Marriott Platinum status. Your mileage may certainly vary, and if you had some good or some bad experiences with these programs, we'd love to hear about it in the comments below. So now that we've talked about some reasons why you might use a travel portal, let's look at some benefits of booking directly with the hotel. This is how my wife and I usually book our hotels. So first, your nights count towards status with the brand. If you don't travel a lot, this might not be a big deal, but hotel loyalty can be beneficial, especially outside the United States. Earlier, I mentioned that you could potentially earn a similar number of points booking a Hyatt hotel through Chase Travel as you could earn by booking directly with Hyatt. I would personally rather book directly with Hyatt in this case, because I would rather it count toward the status. Now, I've heard it is sometimes possible, primarily with Hilton, to book through a portal and still get your partner number added in later for benefits, but I have not tried this myself. If you do have experience with this, please leave it in a comment below. Generally, you have better protections if something goes wrong and you booked through the hotel. I think there's an idea out there that hotels will always take care of their own customers first, before those who booked through a portal that took a cut of their profits. I don't know if that's true, but I do definitely feel more secure that my reservation will be taken care of if I've made it directly with the brand. Now, I should point out here that from what I've heard, Amex, Chase, and Capital One are often pretty good about taking care of issues that happen if you book through their portals. I don't have any direct experience with this because, as I mentioned earlier, we've never had an issue with any of our portal bookings. But for me, I think I would rather take the security of booking straight through the brand and knowing that you have that booking that you've made directly with them. Now, this is partly because you can see your reservation on the website or app of the hotel if you booked it directly with the hotel chain. This is peace of mind. Although, as I mentioned before, you can always email or call the hotel after you book on the portal and get a confirmation number that way. Now, sometimes booking direct offers better pricing and more flexible cancellation, particularly if you're booking with points. This is not always the case, and often having status with the hotel increases your chances of better pricing, but it is still something to be aware of. And also, some of these credit cards actually do offer you a little bit better pricing sometimes with hotels, such as the Marriott Business Card, which offers a discount when you book directly with Marriott. And finally, you don't need a premium travel card to book direct and earn a lot of points with the hotel. You may have a Chase Sapphire, Amex Platinum, or Capital One Venture X card anyway, but if you can't justify the high annual fees that come with these cards, you might prefer to have a free or a low annual fee credit card from one of the major hotel brands. Most of our extended family has the $95 a year Marriott card from Chase, which gets them a free night certificate every year and earns them a lot of points. Not the max, but something like 16 or more points per dollar when they book with Marriott. For a casual traveler, that may be ideal. That may be all you need. If you made it to this point in the video, we really appreciate you sticking around. It's tough to cover all these ins and outs on the subject in just one video, but please leave a comment below if you have anything you'd like to discuss about using travel portals or booking direct. Also, as I mentioned a few times in this video, my wife and I usually book direct with hotels. Our primary hotel brand is Marriott, and we've done a bunch of videos on the subject of points, status, free nights, and everything else as it pertains to the Marriott program. I'll link the playlist we've made below if you want to check them out. Thanks very much for watching, and again, if you found this content helpful, we'd love it if you'd like the video and consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps us out.